Now look at that. It's Doom 2 in its simple, brutal styling. Yeah, it's Software hit a jackpot when they made the first Doom with a shareware, and then it's the commercial versions of 2 episodes, and later added a 4th episode. So they were hammering hot iron when they made a sequel, Doom 2, Hell on Earth, 30 stages, actually 32 stages of complete action with a basic idea that it follows the same pattern as the previous one, but it's expanded and made more difficult. And this PlayStation 4 translation brings it very formally back, with also a big bunch of really difficult new levels called the Master levels, and they are hard, which I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go for the Hell on Earth with ultra violence and show something. I'm gonna show something like the final, some levels of this, the final boss, and of course I'm gonna show the secret levels, Wolfenstein, which were cut away from German release of this. So of course, the first stage. Couple of basic elements, and of course I'm playing with the ultra violence because in modern shooters the hard difficulty usually tends to make it so that the enemies become insanely tough, but they are just the same numbers of enemies, so they all become sponges, which is not so fun. But in Doom it's always been, or at least in this Doom, at least this generation of Doom, it's been much more clearly in realm of that. It's gonna be loud and violent and more enemies. So let's get these and mutilate those. And of course the basic guns of the Doom guy are still the same. Yes, it's the same Doom guy, and very good plot is that at the end of first Doom, demons had managed to find the Earth, attacked it, and Doom guy followed them from hell. And not only that, which is bad, because you know Doom guy is a human and he was a personality, so he doesn't like that kind of idea that there's hellspawn attacking Earth. But they made it personal. The demons killed his pet rabbit, Stacy. And not just killed, brutally murdered, slaughtered it. And not even in reasons that they were hungry, because they eat meat and all that. No, they just slaughtered Doom guy's pet rabbit for shits and giggles. And Doom guy is a very sensitive man. Despite eventually getting several millennia worth of combat experience of destroying everything demonic, usually with extreme amount of personal dislike. So yeah, that's the entryway level is short, and there's all kinds of bonus thingamajiggeries to find, so to make sure that I'm at the peak level of power going to the next stage. Yeah, you get the shotgun, you get the chainsaw, you even get the rocket launcher for the heavy hits. And of course Doom guy still zips around like a rocket. Perfect. And bit under par. But I do say that Doom 2 ups the difficulty quite a lot. But it still starts real slowly because, well, it's got 30 stages of complete Doom action, so there's not much chance to be, you could say, because so far the enemies I've faced have been all the basic fodder. Gunmen, imps, and now they're bigger, tougher gunmen. So nothing has changed in that sense. And this stage also introduces back the old mechanic of having locked doors and keys is still around, and you're gonna have to deal with that. Your problem. And And of course, the gunmen do carry the basic hit scan weapons, meaning that you can touch them. I don't think it's even possible to get Doom as a no-hit run. It might be somewhat possible, but I haven't even bothered to try. And here's the new weapon, and which makes the classic Doom's arsenal complete. The super shotgun. Lesser rate of fire, eats double the ammo, and has the triple the punch. Means that, but it also has shorter fire, slower rate of fire, meaning that the regular shotgun does not go out of service by super shotgun, mostly because, well, super shotgun is a bit awkward to use, more awkward to use. Yep. And there's lots of enemies. Doom, at least the classic Dooms, the higher difficulties, were all about big numbers of enemies of various levels of toughness, from very squishy and weak to extremely not squishy and dangerous, coming towards you with very little strategy or subtlety, and lots of habit of making big noise, which is of course something that players do like. Scream and kill is the basic tactic of demonkind employed, which of course is quite much also what's the Doom guy's favorite strategy of seeing that, well, he's coming way at this phase where if you look at the story, which might be eventually be revealed in Doom Eternal, which I haven't played, but they say it's good. As in, it has its actual story and its Doom, which I'd say is one of the dumbest. And of course, the basic gameplay features of exploding barrels that you can use tactically to mayhemize enemies. But I still find it quite, you could say, a bit lazy game design. The fact that they did not use any of the later, you could say, bit improved ports of Doom as the basic for this, like the, well, PlayStation, for example, Doom on PlayStation 1, well, Doom was ported to a shitload of platforms when it was really after its practically every home console had a Doom version. It would be something that you might say that, are you insane even trying to get it ported? But they did, with various levels of success. Did get the Doom ported to practically every and any platform, which in some cases might be said to be you are damn brilliant that you even managed to get it to this platform. And in some cases, and which were, you could say, impressive demo about how good you were programming, and most likely just as impressive showing that why you should not try to do something that you know is quite impossible to do without serious cuts to something to its basic being. Yeah, one more. Oh yeah, but level of difficulty was up. Level of action was kept. Level designs became more complex. Doom 2 was follows the set. A big load of enemies walloped out of existence. One big spray of shotgun shell. Oh yeah, and now there's a chance to see a new enemy in action. Yeah, there's enemies walking about. Because now, that guy who's flashing right now is known as, well, heavy weapon judo commando. It's, you could say, it's basic gunman of the follows the basic method of being a mixed gunman. But instead of pistol or shotgun, it's got a bloody machine gun, meaning that it's a glass cannon, and I do emphasize both. It's glass and it's cannon. It makes a very pleasant mushing death when you shoot it, because the makers, John Carmack, or Carmack. There's a list. John Romero is one of them, and he's perhaps most known from them, the famous or slash infamous original Doom makers, which is not a big group, something like a. But there was one ambitious and knew that they just couldn't. Well. Once they had figured that they had a hit product in their hands, they played so smart that they decided that let's make a commercial sequel so that we are economically set, and then we can start trying to be ambitious and earn the possible extra monies by licensing to other platforms. And maybe at the same time they also might get some practice about how different platforms and all that kind of things work, because well, they were professionals. Yeah, use of the minigun is always recommended, especially with absolute disregard about things like trigger safety. You're gonna just shoot things. Doom guy shoots things. And I must say that I personally like Doom more when it's a matter of these basic enemies being in big numbers instead of those not as numerous but way more tougher enemies like Cackle Demons, Barons of Hell, and all those big ugly nasty enemy lugs that you really don't wish to fight. Really are not that fun to fight. I think you could say that the pink demons are at the borderline of them, mostly because well they're just melee combat only, so you can use all kinds of trickeries to circumvent them. Like this. Just by the corner where you are can sit and bring out Mr. Chainsaw to the mix. No need to waste ammo when you can just go for the and I do say that in the amount of power-ups that Doom has, of course, big ammunition boosts. Let's not say that the so-called stealth artifact or partial invisibility blur, many names, is not a good one, because it more often than not gives you no tangible benefit using. Let's leave those alive. Doom guy leaves them alive, which is very rare. And of course, level design. These levels are not really, you could say, pleasant. But liberal use of firepower is always recommended. Lots of this kind of little cubby holes and corridors and fences that you can shoot right through and weed out enemies and all that sort of design, which I think is really fun. I'm quite Yeah, Doom guy is very dangerous creature. He's so scary and dangerous and vicious that Hellspawn itself is scared of him. Yeah, but that's later Doom stories. Is that with some way the Doom guy was captured and the Hellspawn themselves. But before that, he was captured. The Hellspawn themselves had become very scared of him because he's just unstoppably mean and violent. Just completely unhinged machine of destruction, utterly dedicated to the complete and total annihilation. I don't like this kind of dark level. It might have some kind of atmospheric style, but not really nice. But you can always put on the lights, which actually are not lights, they're just basically just a little bit of something like a sectors, which are illuminated differently. Not actually, say, lights as in modern games you can use. They had areas with different sets of lightings placed on them, and they just made it so that you could, in a sense, make certain areas change them. Very, you could say, Doom has lots of quite cunning programming solutions employed in it. It is this one. Which is of course understandable, seeing that when this game was made, computer gaming was something like it wasn't particularly new medium it wasn't particularly old medium then, like now with decades of history and long-term franchises like Mario and Zelda. No game franchise had basically even gotten to the age of 10. Some hadn't even gotten to the age of 5. So it was kind of, in a sense, kind of new and niche thing to do. Although it was already, you could say, established medium and all that kind of things, it was quite new and exotic, and something that, yeah, it's a kid's thing, a toy. As in something that we have these tools and we're just making toys for these tools, which is today computers. Which, in a sense, I'm not saying that it was completely out of concept, out of completely wrong concept that how it was, but that's how it went. You're dead. The focus waste tunnels, and this is a tough one. So I think I might die on this. Yeah, lots of enemies. And the visual designs, but I would say that the visuals of this Doom, classic Doom in this game, and I look at how much damage that one gunman or heavy weapon dude managed to suck out from me. It almost ripped me apart. But I do say that these original Doom stages are fun, yes, but they don't seem to have any kind of, you could say, much of rhyme or reason, except except of course the enemies becoming tougher and more numerous and all that kind of things. But generally you can say that what the stages are named and what they contain and all that, it is completely arbitrary. That they just made big stages and lump them together with something like, yeah, this is hard stage, let's put this stage first, let's put this stage last, and that kind of things, because the last stage, the boss, is wide and very complex to and I was shot to pieces. Mostly because I wasn't playing really smart. So, but it's time to show now the secret stages, which you can enter from stage 15, and I'm not gonna show the full process because, well, there are already better tutorials in YouTube for that. Now, in stage 15, there's a quite convoluted path. array of stairs that you can solutions that you must do, and the stages get much bigger that you can get to with this kind of little side path with a secret teleport. Wolfenstein. With a really message that, yeah, you found the secret level, yeah, they make us know that they made a game. So yeah, something weird in hell. Yep. id Software ripping off themselves in form of Wolfenstein. It has Nazi enemies which do not appear and which are completely different enemies. So if I remember, these guys were officially named Wolfenstein SS. And it has Wolfenstein doors, it has Wolfenstein walls, maybe something like a bit more height in these rooms than in the original ones. And maybe a bit of different color palette. Yes, I'm that old that I have played original Wolfenstein 3D. It was all. So I think that this might be that kind of thing that it was completely... Well, id Software are not without reputation. I'm leaving! If I remember right, there's supposed to be something like my leaving in my life. But it sounds like they... But to me it sounds like they say I'm leaving, you know. I'm leaving! Yeah, of course they are leaving, but I wonder where are they going? And of course the enemies are not just... liberal use of firepower in Doom always. Unless you try to do something challenging, especially if you are playing with the hardest regular difficulty. I'd say Nightmare is not regular difficulty because of its respawning enemies mechanic. Standing in a doorway with a chainsaw. Very efficient. Yeah, I'm quite certain that the doorways are much bigger in this than they are in the original Wolfenstein. And yeah, squished. And they also marked secret doors. Yep, and this is the only regular Wolfenstein kind of stage in this. Because well, if you're gonna go to Wolfenstein, you're gonna get a, you could say, not only a treat about id Software's history, but you're gonna get a lot of ammo, basic ammo of course. But you're gonna get, it's basically almost like a bonus level because of how much fun stuff you can find in this. Got upset about imps. Yes, you are leaving. They got stuck on a wall or something. And I am not completely certain that does this stage actually based on directly on. Well, it's very much based on the first map of Wolfenstein 3D, Wolfenstein itself. Which of course means that the first episode of Wolfenstein 3D happened in Castle Wolfenstein, which is actually in a sense quite scary title. Well, I'm using quite a lot of data in this stage, mostly because, well, I'm liberal. I would say I am generous with it. And there's no reason, it's not really difficult to guess why these levels were removed from German version. And I think it's something like just in the sense that we're gonna cut away this secret area in stage 15 just to make sure that yes, they are in the game, but they can't get, but the ways to get there have been removed. That is my guess how they technically did that, Because, well, there's alternative imagery, except not with the actual swastikas. I think this is something like a modern concession about how they could make this game available in Germany in its full Wolfenstein containing glory or lack of it, however you wanna call it. But the stage of Wolfenstein is actually real fun. Because, well, it has basic enemies in big numbers, which I like. And you can of course make them in fight because they also are using hit scan weaponry, which always and it's real funny that they did not even program them to shoot anywhere but forward in their animation. It doesn't matter where they are shooting, they always look like they're shooting at you, which is, you could say, it might have been that they just took the original Wolfenstein 3D sprites, which is to say these enemy characters, and imported them directly into Doom. They did not bother to make them new animation frames to make them shoot somebody else, even though the game engine makes it possible that they know they can shoot each other to pieces, or well, they can shoot each other, which is funny. Well, of course, infighting is I don't know, was it originally deliberately planned to Doom to have infighting, or was it just something that a lucky accident that they decided to keep? Because, well, you know, it's real fun, it brings new strategies, it makes game more fun. There are lots of these kind of little accidental or technical things, discoveries and that kind of things, which appear in many games. Because nowadays games don't seem to have much of technical limitations, only in, you could say, much more in artistic sense. Games nowadays have limitations, not so much in technical. Games can be, well, of course there's a limit about how fancy you could make something like 1,000,000 polygon models, which would have flexing skin and completely realistic face animations and all that, but it might not be necessary in a game where the purpose of that kind of use would be just to shoot, or you could just make every enemy model completely different in this kind of game. But it's that kind of things would be, you could say, extra work for no gain. Because, well, usually in 3D shooting games of first-person shooters like Doom, it's usually just in the sense that we have one model for this kind of enemies and we're gonna spam it a lot. And then again, when you look about just how regular soldiers look like, it's not completely out of picture. Appearances are quite uniform. And if I remember right, it's something like an unofficial thing that the Doom guy's name is actually Blazkowicz, but he would be related to the real original badass of the Wolfenstein. And I was about to go to an exit, but now there's a secret exit in secret level, or there's a secret exit in secret level. So going to that, the second secret stage, which is really fun in this kind of place. If you find one, you're gonna find the other as well. And seeing that how less complex stage Wolfenstein is, it's gonna be easy. Gross. Or is it gross? Yeah, super secret level. And this one is based on, of course, the Wolfenstein, to the second stage, final boss stage of original Wolfenstein 3D. Gross, which has Hans Gross, big hands, big hands. And it's still a big one, but it's not us, it's Cyber Demon. But unlike in Wolfenstein... Oh damn. Took a bit of hit. You don't need... Unlike Wolfenstein, you don't need to actually go and pick a fight with it. Oh! Almost wrecked myself. Oh yeah. And now the... Wolfenstein 3D dudes are actually about to start shooting at him. Yeah, I can just run past him. Oh shit! Oh, avoid it! And there's these kind of weird things that I can kill. They are also some sort of reference to id Software, other things. Because now the Software demon is stopping outside, I didn't even need to bother to kill it. Commander Keynes, if I remember right, and now the box, and now I can just go and take a big dash and get to the actual level 16, where I am going to be horribly killed. But it's now time to jump to the final stage and show what kind of thing that is. So I'll be there then. And now I am at the final stage of Doom 2, Icon of Sin. And it is a boss stage. You know, they're gonna give me all the toys. It's a boss stage against titular Icon of Sin. Oh yeah, and that's it. It's a big image in a wall, which shoots out things which spawn enemies. And if they hit you, you're killed. They spawn every kind of enemies except for really big and scary ones. So it's gonna be, you could say it's a rough about how you're gonna go and kill it. And with this way, there's a platform up there rising up and down. Which of course means that I have to ride the platform up and shoot with a big red hole in its head. Very obvious gameplay cues. Oh damn, not like that. Yeah, and of course the fact that it spawns a shit ton of enemies against at you makes it quite hard. And it's quite difficult because it just doesn't have to be you get to the top for actually cause damage to them. So this is a quite, you could say, not in a sense difficult, conceptually very easy to understand stage, but it's what kind of execution it takes is quite severe. So I'm now jumping to the fact where it is dying. Yeah. It's exploding. So yeah, now the final ending with a big text. Well, if you know that well, Doom guys, history will be long and bloody. So, but here's the cast of the characters. And the ways, of course, how they die. The basic gunman from Doom 1 dies. And the other basic gunman from Doom 1. And this one, just as easily killed as any of the gunmen, but damn certainly more powerful when it goes to attack. and it dies with very nice way. And imps, fireballs, scratches, dead. Same happens to demon. Basic. And there's of course Spectre variant of this thing as well. Dies. Lost soul, nothing secret. Only heavy weapon guy was completely new. Dies. Yeah, it's ugly but still kind of funny because it's smiling. Dies. Yeah. The more human colored version of Baron of Hell. Squish here. And he's the Baron of Hell itself. Miniature version of the spider demon shoots plasma bolts. And these ones, they shoot lost souls instead of fireballs. Quite silly looking and not as fun as the, you could say, the Cacodemons themselves, but this is not the worst version of these things. Lanky and fast skeletons punch and shoot rockets, which means they have plenty of alternatives. Guys. Big fat fireball spewing demons. Very pleasant way to die, just to see. And one of the most dangerous foes in Doom, capable of resurrecting and causing a shit ton of damage. Yeah, the basic spider demon, relegated to something like a mini boss, not fully boss. And cyber demon as well. Same deal. Not so much of a big monster, boss monster anymore, but just as dangerous. And with this final blow, it's time to end this short review slash let's play or demonstration of Doom 2. Yeah, the Doom guy is still a Doom guy. He goes real fast, he shoots with a gun, and he dies.